Good evening everybody and welcome to Bear Beer Reviews. On the cards tonight we have another beer from America that we picked up over there. This is Evil Twin Brewing's Fatale Blanc, which is a 100% fermented with Brett IPA. If that makes sense. 100% Brett fermented IPA. We've had one of these before, which is the American Dream, or yeah, I think it was American Dream by Mikula. And the basic concept of a Brett IPA is that because all the fermentation is done by Brett Brettanomyces, it can ferment much lower down, eat up more of those sugars, so you get a slightly higher ABV, but it dries out more and allows some of those more hoppy notes to kind of punch and zing without too much caramel and sweetness kind of holding back. Brettanomyces, if you've had sours and lambics and stuff, you'll probably notice having quite like a fusty horse blankety aroma. Well, that's just certain strains of it. So quite a lot of the strains have got different flavours. There's some really good blogs going around about it. Mad Fermentationist and Bear Flavoured Ales. Two of my favourites, Bear Flavoured Ales, go figure. They document it really well about the different notes you get, just like with different standard brewer's yeasts. Saccharomyces cerevisiae, with Brettanomyces. There's many different strains as well, all having different flavours. One that's commonly used for Brett IPAs is the Dry Fontaine Brett, Dry Fontaine Brett, which is it doesn't have any phenolics to it, so it's more like a US style yeast where there's not too much extra flavours coming from the yeast. It's very just ferments. It doesn't leave too much in the way of flavour. So it's an interesting concept. You know, we want to dry IPAs out till those hop flavours zing, but you don't want to get too much in the way of those yeasty flavours coming through to throw off the hop flavours. So you use a really dry strain of Brett that doesn't have particularly any yeast flavours, and you should get something interesting. This one is hopped with Nelson Sauvin, one of my favourite hops from New Zealand, I believe. So obviously some of those winey notes we expect to come through, which should blend really well. If there are any Brett flavours or any of that kind of lemony tartany funkness, should blend really well into an interesting beer. I couldn't tell you what strain of Brett they use, Evil Twins used, but who knows. Let's go in there and find out. So we have quite a hazy little fellow here. There's a ton, absolutely massive amounts of carbonation going on, resulting in a very nice thick head, varying different degrees of sizes of bubbles and stuff there, and carbonation going on the top, and it should lace really well. The head's sticking super beautifully. As what I kind of call like the Brett haze. If you ever get Brett beers, they tend to not flocculate and drop out of solution a lot, so you get a lot of the Brett still in the beer, floating around inside it, so you get quite hazy beers. Could be hop haze as well, from depending on how many hops they've used. Head retention's quite good, sticking around for the ride. I can smell it already, it's quite pungent, so let's get a nose in properly and give it a smell. Oh man, when I read the blurb on this beer, seeing it had Nelson Sauvin and seeing it was 100% Brett, I thought, do you know what, you couldn't choose two things that would blend as well as this could, and it just has so beautifully. Oh, it's like a most juicy, super sweet, lovely mango aroma, and it dries up into that kind of floral bouquet of a white wine. There's just this hint of fussiness. It's not too overpowering, but there's just a hint of fussiness, and it's kind of peachy too. But God, it really smells good. It smells almost candied, like you've got a really sweet candied mango, and candied peaches and apricots. A little bit of horse blanket funk underneath, but it just really, it's really zinging. It's really got some punch to this. Smell, absolutely. It smells amazing. If you told me this was just a massive hot monster, I'd be going, how the heck could they get that purest, sweetest, gorgeous fruit aroma on the beer? Actually, talking about head retention, it's gone right down, but you can see it's lacing quite well too. But that is a zinging aroma. It really smells beautiful, this. It really does. So, cheers everyone, let's give it a try. Yeah, it's dry, it's crisp, nice level of carbonation. It really zips across the tongue into that kind of dried, you know, like a dried champagne prosecco-esque kind of fizzle and dryness in the palate. And once that dryness kind of comes across the tongue, you get that sweet candied mangoes and wine notes and peaches, and it just punches across the tongue with that hint of funk. What you can smell on the nose with this really comes across in the palate, comes across in big style. God, I could tell by the aroma this was going to be a stonking beer, absolutely corking. Taste it too, it's just right there, really nailing the Brett IPA style. This is exactly what I'm looking for in a Brett IPA. Dry as anything, good carbonation to help out because of the body, because of the loss of sugars, it won't be as chunky in the mouth. That Nelson Sauvin just blends so perfectly with what flavours do come from the Brett. They must have used a fruity kind of Brett because the Mikkeller one was slightly more tart, I think, and slightly had a hint of lemony to it. And this is definitely a different strain of. Doesn't say, does it? But I'd love to know what it is, because this is just like a really fruity, fruity flavoured one. If well, I don't know. I assume it must be, and it must produce some kind of really nice fruit, this mango and peachy flavours. To kind of counteract or blend in well with that wine note. Damn, this is a good beer. This is a smile on the face beer. You know, I don't smile too often. I'm a grumpy bugger, but this is just one of those things. It's like yes. 6% for some of my English sensibilities. Not too strong, but yes, so much flavour. Brilliant. Great beer. Absolutely loving this. Smashing corking. Absolutely love it. And I'm assuming this will age with, I don't know if they filter out yeast or if it's bottle conditioned or not. I'm pretty sure they'll probably filter out most of it. I'm assuming you could probably bottle condition this and age it for a while. So this one must be relatively fresh because I've only just come back from America. Again, I'm not sure. Not entirely sure. It doesn't have a date on it or anything, or on the cap. Yeah, it doesn't. But I'm assuming you could probably age this, and some of those Nelson Sauvin flavours might just dissipate, and you might get more of the fruity Brett notes, or you might get less of. I'm not sure. It might turn into a slightly more sour and tart affair. I'm not entirely sure. I couldn't tell you, but it's a beer with evolution. You know, it will evolve, and it will change, I'm sure. But you can tell, I just love this. It's great. Absolutely great beer. And I could talk ages about theories with Brett and stuff, but I'm not going to. So there you go. Rating wise, 9.5, easy. This is just like, yes. It's great. It's absolutely great. It's what I love about beer. Experimentation without being the point of stupidity and creating something that is actually genuinely tasty. And the Brett IPA style, IPA, you know, styles are misnomers anyway because there's so many different variations on them, but this is a type of beer that I hope will become more prominent. Just get away, use different yeast, use wild yeast, go mad. Come on, England, we need to get some proper sours going, some proper alternative fermented beers. That's like a plead to all you brewers out there. I know there's some that are flying the flag at the moment, but let's get some on cask. Let's get some cask sour ales going on in England. I can feel it. So there you go, from Beverly Reviews, and 9.5 out of 10 beer, because you know we don't do 10 out of 10s here. Femme Fatale Blanc by Evil Twin Brewing Company, out of New York, Brooklyn, New York / Denmark. Please like, favourite, comment and subscribe. Tell me what you think of this little beastly beer. Cheers.